Hey, Miss TR. Were you on earlier? Because I didn't even realize I was live. Kareem, how's it going? Miss Brooklyn, hey, boo. Okay, so y'all, listen. Let's talk about this. Now, I was over there in VS's live, and she was talking about QB, and she was talking about how um he uses the fact of him losing Emmanuel and uses it at his discretion. I don't know, Miss TR. I looked at the thing and I'm like, I didn't even realize I was live. But girl, we here. Jacqueline, how are you? Thank you. Kareem, I was already subscribed to you, but then I sub to Sam I Am as well. How is she? But yeah, I was over there and I was listening at VS, and she was talking about how QB always, well, not always, but has been known to bring up Emmanuel anytime something goes on. Now, it did something to me to hear QB crying this morning. Let me tell you, my dad always told me when you hear a man crying, that has bothered that man down to his core. And I know that the situation with the gentleman panel and how the whole incident happened the other night, it rubbed him, it made him feel away. And this as well it should have. Boss lady, how you doing, boo? And I see his point of view because let me tell you, anytime they get ready to have a gentleman's panel, whoever platform they're holding it on, they have free will to run it as they see fit, right? Oh, good, good. Um, Child, that's what I want to know. Q, what's going on, boo? Now, when this bullying content comes into play and everybody's standing around looking like, okay, now what's next? We'll see. But yeah, so I felt where QB was coming from. But anyway, they're allowed to run it as they see fit. Now, Trey, in my opinion, would have been a no, out, absolutely not, because anytime I've seen him on anybody's platform, including his own, it's a mess. And I don't know if that's just him, if he's on 10 all the time, but I listen to him periodically because that's just all I can take. Now, when he went on to the Mez Express, that right there was an absolute no-no. Oh, wow. Oh, Corinne, you know what? My grandmother, one of them is 92 and the other one is 93. And I know I am better than blessed because hmm, those girls are still kicking it. They're still doing their own thing, getting around. still getting up. Those are Southern belles, and they get up, still get dressed, still do what they need to do. Hang on for a second, guys. Let me take this call. Okay, guys, I'm back. One of those eggs calling, child. Um, but yeah. So, Red Lace, how are you, honey? Charlie's words, what's going on, babe? But yeah, those two girls get up and do it. So I know what it's like to now. One thing about our family, we have been blessed with longevity. So death is just something that we don't have to do. Now, most of you already know that because I'm a mortician, I deal with death all the time. So it just doesn't affect me how it would affect anybody else. But that's also because it hasn't hit close to home. Anyway, now listening at VS, why would you? Okay, so you felt that. So I guess QB is not allowed to express his feelings. QB is not allowed to be able to say, listen, hey, I mean, this is what it was. He decided to bring Trey on. Trey made a spectacle of himself, and this is the end result of it. And then he just didn't leave it there, took his messy ass over there to the Mess Express, called himself releasing receipts and all that. I found that to be, listen, Trey is making a name of himself and looking. Now, I might frequent your chat every now and then, but as far as dealing with you, that's an absolute no-no. Yeah, he did. And I'm like, dude, you don't see nothing wrong with that. You don't see anything wrong with how you handled the situation. Because, and just when he was on the gentleman's panel, he was talking about how he really felt about Jay Wilson and he had respect for him. And he even did a live on his own show talking about how Jay Wilson gave him all kind of words of encouragement, yada, yada, yada. Then you go right behind and talk about the man like he was an enemy in the street. Now that part I did not get. I didn't get it. I didn't understand that light switch mentality that he has. Because at any given rate, I don't know how to take you. I don't never know how you gonna come. I just gotta sit back and wait. Yeah, he is young, but by you being young and immature, you need to sit back. Yeah, you have your history with Armand Wiggins and whatnot. You have your history with Fisher King Payne, but is this what they taught you? Is this what you learned? Because see, when you're just coming onto a scene, you need to stand back and test the waters, see how the climate is going, see who the major players are. You don't always have to be the one to jump in and be controversial and start shit and talking. I mean, that's unnecessary because that's not never going to show you in a good light. Hey, bench thinker. Okay, Miss Brooklyn, listen, stay woke, honey. If Nina learned from Nolan, I believe sound like he's comatose. Okay, because that whole situation with that, I believe every word Lady Snoop said. She has no reason to lie on that man. Well, I do believe he is an opportunist. I do believe that he wants to be accepted. Well, someone said last night, you get more bees with honey, and you do get more bees with honey. You also get a piss poor reputation for being out there in these streets. Always got shit to say about people too, though. I mean, that's not a good thing. You don't always want to be known as the shit starter. That's no, because see, when you start looking for people for help with this, that thing, or the other, because see, that's gonna only take you so far. She did say it, and everything that she said, I found to be true. She didn't tell a lie. Well, guess what, Kareem? He have his ass over there on his platform doing all that yelling. For one, with that one finger up, and for two, with that two, boy. To me, when I'm watching him, it seems like you're doing too much. You Everything is overemphasized. Why? You doing too much. Mm-mm. To me, he left for right now. He has a sour taste in his mouth. As far as I have a sour taste in my mouth as far as he's concerned, because I'm not seeing it for him right now. And then the backlash that's coming from it is not good. And to me, I'm gonna beat your ass, Wrench. I told you the other day, don't come over here talking about Coach. Now we was getting along. That's how you gonna do, Coach. Just let me know so I can know how far this exchange gonna go. Now you already know I'm in my feelings when it come down to him. Don't do that. And don't go make a video about him either. But yeah, he is too extra. And so because of that, and I feel like you're trying too hard, if it's not gonna flow naturally, you're reaching anyway. You're reaching and then you're reaching with rubber arms. Mm-mm. No. So listen, y'all. I just think that this whole issue it's gonna work itself out. I'm gonna listen to QB. He said that he was gonna come back on because he's getting back to himself. And QI, what's going on, mama? Camille C, hey girl, what you doing? Yeah, I think this was just a little hiccup and he's gonna bounce back. You know how he is. He's loving life and life is loving him. And so that's just is what it is. It's gonna go ahead on and breeze by as things do on YouTube. So listen, guys, I was sitting up there and I was just running the street how I normally do. And we always hear about cases where these girls are going around um willingly, I mean knowingly being infected with AIDS, I mean HIV, and then willingly passing it around. Here we got another sister. Here she come. Miss Georgia Pitts. Now she knew that she had HIV. And when she was arrested, an undercover cop arrested her. She on this social media site, and I mean, I guess this dating site. Now she around here passing out AIDS like it's candy. I'm gonna say this because things like this should never happen. Let me tell you something. We have a whole clinic here that treats HIV and AIDS patients. And when you walk in there, you see some of the finest brothers, you see some of the finest sisters up in there. Why y'all can't go there and just meet there and just already commingle with the people that are already there? Why do you have to come out here and the unknowing society and spread habit? This has become a pandemic, if you will, because you have them, they know they have it. Then you got this innocent bystander that is out there just trying to get their freak on, and that's what they doing. And I'm not understanding, Lady Nika, hey boo. Girl, be careful, honey. They're out here really setting their sights on people that are not infected. Now, you know, they said that over there in Africa, every time someone was diagnosed with it, they would put a brand behind one of their ears. Let me tell you something. I don't think I'm totally against that because at least people would know. It wouldn't be a guessing game. It wouldn't be, okay, let me see your clearance letter. People almost now got to walk around with their clearance letter from the health department. And it shouldn't even be that way. You know you got it. There's so many people around here that does have it. This shouldn't even be a thing, but it is. And I'm looking at her and she looking nonchalant, like I don't give a damn. I got it and I'm gonna give it to just as many people as I choose to. I'm like, are you really that selfish? Because somebody gave it, and she got hers look like you said in a transplant. Okay, that's of no fault of your own. Why would you go out, right, Ranch? Why would you go out on this revenge type of situation and give it to as many people as you can? And then she is kind of cute. I'm pretty sure she put a little makeup on, put her hair up. She's cute. You know what I'm saying? And you looking right. You don't look like you're sick. What does it look like? It doesn't even have a look now. It doesn't have a look. Let me tell y'all something. I had a patient and I loved her so much. She had been in the hospital for, let's see, Dear was in the hospital for about 9 weeks. We did not find out that that lady had AIDS until she was getting ready to leave. And she was at that point 72 years old. I said, what the hell? So I go in there and I done eased in the room, closed the door so we can have a heart to heart little chat. Because when the doctor told her, he said, well, ma'am, so and so, were you aware that you had been infected with AIDS? She said, yeah. And I said, well, bitch, I said to myself, well, you didn't think to tell nobody else? You didn't think to say, well, hey, I also got this, because on the question the people asked you on your intake, when they went in to do your admission, we asked you 11 questions. You mean to tell me you didn't see fit to tell anybody that you was HIV positive, that you had AIDS? Mm-mm. By that time, everybody on the floor had to come in contact with her because we rotate our patients. So by that time, we all looking at each other stupid. We looking like, because a lot of gloves and stuff like that, ma'am. Now you done played too much. Cause see, right now, and she even said it. She said, "I'm at the end of my life." Well, what about us that are not? I mean, you weren't looking out for nobody. You gonna just? I said, you know what? From even though we're taught to treat every patient the same, treat every patient like they're contagious. Because sometimes, we get laxed. In the hospital, the longer they stay, the more lax we get, unless we're dealing with, any type of bodily fluid. But I'm like, ma'am, you tried it, honey. You really did try it. And that was another lesson learned with BamaGirl, because I'm like, girl, let me tell you something. Check yourself always. That's why we are constantly, because of the field we work in, I mean, constantly. The city I live in, age runs rampant. It runs rampant. And around here, it doesn't have an age. You have them all the way down from 12 that I know of, from 12 all the way up to, oh my God, to late 70s, early 80s. And now these are people that have been living with it for a long time. But I said that because, like my kids, all of my children are 22 and under. And I'm always preaching to them about the safetyness of it. One thing about it, we all know that even though AIDS is not a death sentence, people don't pass away from AIDS. They always pass away from complications of AIDS. But at the end of the day, I feel like this. If I wasn't born with it, I don't have it. Please don't give it to me. Okay, no matter what they say. Yeah, 12. And it's a sad case. It's a sad case. I'm gonna get you, Wrench. I'm gonna get you. He's a whole clown. A clown. But yeah, I'm always, even my husband, he sitting right here. I hate to have to punch him in the throat and then cremate him. Y'all know that. Oh my God. You know what? When babies are born with it, it's hard to watch because those babies are so helpless. They were born into this world with it. And like now we have, we've gotten a whole lot better at, knowing how to treat them, but they still, oh yes, definitely practice safety. They cry, 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 and they can't communicate to you and tell you what the issue is. So right now it's still in the, well, let me try this and see if this works. Let me try that and see if that worked. That's still where we are with it, unfortunately, because every case is different. Oh, boss lady, listen, if I wasn't born with it, no ma'am. Yeah, you know what, Kareem, a lot of times it is a lot to deal with. And I myself personally don't want to be desensitized to it, but because I see it so much, sometimes when you look at the same thing over and over and over and over and over, you unfortunately you do find yourself desensitized. And I never wanted to be that way. A lot of people say that too when it comes down to death. Well, I don't understand how you could do that. And I don't even want to say it's a gig because that's just not right. But it does something on the inside of you. It makes you feel good on the inside when you can give back in that way. Oh, bench thinker. But what one thing I can say though, a lot of the babies that are born with it and that grows up, I mean, they grow up, they are taking their medications, they're fine. They didn't ask for it. And a lot of times, doctors and things, they can treat them in that way. Now, for the mother that gave birth to the baby and knowing it, girl, that's what makes it a pandemic because you don't know who got it. You did not disclose. You don't even know where you got it from. So you walking around, it will make you neurotic, really. I told my husband I need to just live in a bubble. Yeah, yeah. Oh, they were on trial meds. Mm, mm. Yeah, the kids are the ones. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And from you know what, when it comes down to the kids, a lot of people can't take too much. A lot of people cannot take too much. Listen, let me tell you something. Ben Stinker, you know what? One of my most favorite patients. He would always frequent the hospital. You know, he'd get a cold or something or whatever, and he'd come in and out. And the last time he was there, and I saw him, and I'm like, he was like, boss, I can't be in the hospital too long because I got to get to work. I've already taken too much time off, yada yada yada. And I'm like, I know that's right, honey, because bills don't pay themselves. So I had the nerve to ask him. I said, well, where do you work? I'm sure they understand. You know what he told me? Coca-Cola. At Coca-Cola. In my mind, I said, nah. But I mean, but there again, you can't discriminate. You cannot discriminate against anybody. But in my mind, listen, because of the field I work in, I vowed to never drink another Coca-Cola product. But you just don't know. But when he said that, and I know that I take care of him, I said, Miss TR, I do. But no, ma'am, I don't. I do not handle them differently because once you're dead, you're dead. And once I pump that embalming solution in them, because you know, retreat. Now, to be honest with you, all of them are treated the exact same way. Every decedent is treated the exact same way because you're not coming back from dead. Because you know, a lot of times once you open that body bag, you don't know what they passed away with. You don't know. You looking at them, you already know in your mind you need to do A, B, C, D. It's a routine. It's a routine over and over and over and over and over. Unless you have something like a body that came from the medical examiner and you have to do it and they're a total donor case and you got to build them up yourself. You got to build up new bones. You got to build up new skin. You have to build up everything. But other than that, we don't know what they passed away with. Being stinker, no ma'am. Listen, I'm in both fields. I'm in both fields. Oh yeah, you dead, you dead. Never. Never had a nightmare. I've never a lot of people ask me that, but I've never had a nightmare. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I can only remember out of all the cases, remember that very first total donor case that I had to do because the family wanted to do an open casket. And that's an open casket. Now that puts your skill to work because you working with a picture and they expect to see their family the way that they remember. And if you can pull that off, you are worth every penny that they pay you. You know what, bench thinker? The babies are not the babies are not as hard as you may think. I mean, they're not. Now, I know when I was going to school, I thought that I may have had an issue with the babies because most of my nursing career and all that has always been in the hospitals, and in the nursing homes. Well, honey, I walked in because we had to do um an internship at a local nursing home. I mean, at a local funeral home. And the first one that I chose to go into, okay, let me go in here and see what they're giving or whatever. And the lady came to the counter. She dropped off a little outfit, that she wanted her baby to be dressed in. And I took the outfit to the back and I said, the guy that I was working with, I said, well, here's the outfit that she wants us to dress, put on the baby. He looked at the outfit. Now, remind you, I've been in here all day. Bodies lined around the wall, bodies in the cooler, but I haven't seen a baby. Um, Kareem, you know what? I just did. I didn't think about it like that. I didn't think about it. Oh, this is somebody's baby. Oh, this is somebody's. I didn't think about it like that, and I never do. You do your job, you make them. Now, what you do is you do put your best work into it. You put your absolute best work into it. And I'm going to tell you what, some of those little black babies, let me tell you, they look like porcelain dolls. They are gorgeous. But yeah, so I'm looking around. I didn't see a baby in there, for all the other bodies I saw. That man went underneath the embalming table, pulled out a tub. Y'all know one of those tubs that you get from Walmart that you might put little Christmas ornaments and stuff in and stuff that you store, little storage bins or whatever. That man pulled that bin out, set it on top of the embalming table. He went down in there and pulled that baby up out of that embalming solution. And what he said made me knew then that I would never come back in this funeral home. He said, I don't know what she want me to do with this. He said that I was done. I was done with him. I was done with that firm. And anybody that asked me anything about that firm, him, anybody associated with him, you know what? You can set fire to it. I wouldn't even care because you got to have, let me tell you something, you have to have reverence and respect for the dead. And only thing they see is money. That's it. That girl, and she was young, they were disenfranchised. I mean, her baby was stillborn. Who can get ready for that? And for you to feel that heartless and that cold and to say it to me, now mind you, he had just met me. And he was looking like that. I looked at him. I said, now I know damn well. See, I'm bad about my mouth. I am bad. But see, when it's wrong, it's wrong. And you holding that baby up in one hand, you talk, and I said, now I know damn well you didn't just say that out of your mouth. And of course, he did feel some type of way about that. But guess what? From that day until this one, I have never been back in there. And anytime I even look like I see something that resemble him, I have an instant attitude and an instant unit because to me, they are trash. I don't like that shit. Now that right there, I could never get with. Mm-mm. And let me tell you something. A lot of people can't do it. A lot of this is a job a lot of people cannot do. They can't do it. Hell, the first embalming class I was in, I had a doctor on my. Let me see, yeah, I had a doctor on my left. There was a dentist on my right. Now they were not going into it to be morticians. The doctor, she went in it because they had a family firm and her brother had gotten sick and he couldn't run the business anymore. So she was going to go ahead and get her license so that they could keep the family name. She wasn't interested in embalming nobody, and it showed because she fainted. Yeah. Now, when I say doctor, yeah, she's a doctor, but she's a pharmacist. Okay, okay, Kareem, not one, but all of them. Every wall, exactly. And I don't blame you. I had a straight attitude, and I just done pissed myself off just now by thinking about the shit again. Because that's something you didn't have to do. And I had to go back out there and face the family. And I'm look, I couldn't pull it off. I could not pull it off. And so I said, I'm gonna have to excuse myself. I'll be just back. I'm gonna go down to the corner store and get me a little something to drink, right? I jumped in that Lincoln and I was at home. I wasn't studying it. I was not going back. I was not going back. I'm still getting me something to drink years later. Child, please. And anytime anybody asks me, well, do you know where they do, cheaper services? Do you know where they do? No, I don't. No, I do not. And the city that we live in, this is murder, death, kill around here. The sirens always running. You got murders all the time. And I mean, in a mortician's world, this city is the gift that keep on giving. But child, yeah, I broke out into a baby sweat dealing with y'all and dealing with that food. And then it will make it so bad. Corinne, you know what? I will tell them to go for it. Go for it. It's very, very rewarding. It is. Let me tell you something. Anytime, because you are dealing with people's most prized possession. You really are. And if they entrust you with them and you represent well, let me tell you one thing about funeral directors and funeral homes. They're known by the work that they do. They're your name in the community is what makes you and it's what breaks you. Oh, yes, ma'am, boss lady. That's for sure. And if you're a firm that's known for botching bodies, you can close your doors. But if you treat people right and you put on, I mean, you put on, you show that family that you mean every word that you say and you make good on what you tell them. You put your heart and soul into that body and the work that you do to it. Hmm. And they put that out there, that word travels like wildfire, whether it's good or bad, it travels like wildfire. It does. If anyone is interested in going into the funeral service industry, do it. Do it. Because it's not about the money. I mean, it is about the money, but then it's not about the money. It's about the feeling that you get from it. When you love doing the job, you don't work hard. You can do it in the dark. You can do it in the dark. And that's why I have a love for it. Yeah, when I decided to become a mortician, my family was like, "What? What? Funeral home? Oh no!" Because most funeral homes have blood ties to them. Most of them are family owned and operated. But me, I'm a first generation. Nobody in my family would have even considered that. But that was okay. Somebody, I'll do it and do it with pride. Do it with, it's not about having your name on the marquee. It's not about that. Because I do, and you have to have sympathy and empathy for people when they're going through times like that. And I didn't have that. I didn't. Let me tell you, when I was in my last semester of college, my granddad passed. And out of all of that schooling we had to do, and trust me, it's hard. It's hard, but it's worth it, and I understand it. But I mean, it's no different than anything else. And once you get into it, and me, I was second in my class the entire time. But it wasn't until my granddad passed that everything that I had learned came full circle. It hit me in my face. And it's still hard for me to deal with now. That man was our foundation. Yeah. Yeah. It's all about the firm. It's all about the firm. It is. When they care, you know it. You really do. Now, ours, I mean, because a lot of the names, they are household names. Definitely. Jack, I'm working on that right now. I'm working on that as we speak. And I mean a firm built for a queen. I'm working on it. That's my ultimate goal. Because I do want, which I have two that will continue, the legacy, if you will. But that oldest daughter of mine, she's a definite not. But oh yes, that's my goal. My goal is to have my own firm because with what I know, hmm, I will move back to Alabama and open my firm there because here, hmm, you wouldn't know it, but there. One thing about funeral directors and morticians, now they have the crab in the barrel effect for real. They act like people not dying all day, every day around here. They really do. But it's very expensive to even open one. You need to even open one, you need $1 million. Oh yes, that's my goal because that's one feeling you can't describe. And if I have to feel a certain way about something, that's the feeling I want. It really is. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to get that off of my chest. Yes, Kareem. But because I passed through and I saw this chick sitting up here on this thing, and I'm like, this can't be this difficult. It's not like you can't find anybody. It's not like you got to be out here just passing this disease around to just anybody. And then she got caught because of undercover hit her up on the line and went in and set her up. And that's when she started telling him, okay, well, I'm HIV positive, yada yada yada. But that's not what you don't have to do that because there are so many people just here at this clinic, and there's so many patients that come in and out there on a daily basis. Girl, if you're just looking for a man, hang around down there. You'll get you one or two or 10. That's all you have to do. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. Well, y'all, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Hubby looking at me with a side eye. I must have to dedicate some time to him. Y'all know how that is. But I'm glad everybody stopped by. Sit with me, chit chat. We're gonna chop it up for a little while. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And I will holler at y'all in a bit. Thank you.